Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends, Matt Bailey here, the director for the Scotch Malt Whisky Society here in Australia. Now, we've talked glassware before. We want to talk glassware again because the type of glassware you use to drink whiskey out of, does it make a difference to your whiskey enjoyment and appreciation? I think it does. In fact, it's proven to. But in front of me right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different glasses that you could use to drink whiskey. Now, but let's just start with what the point of the glassware is. The point of glassware is to deliver the whiskey from the bottle to your face. That's, in a nutshell, the most important part is that you are able to drink whiskey. The second most important part is whether you are saying it's for appreciation or for an enjoyment. However, let's just talk appreciation for the moment. If you have a glass that has too wide an opening and not much of a space to move around in terms of actually to focusing the nose of that whiskey. So let's just pour. We're going to pour cask 36.190 Nutty Oloroso Soaked Oak, a deep, rich and dried fruits new release from the Society. This release is available exclusively to those who are joining the Society via Bottle of the Moment plus membership on our website. I'm going to pop that there for the moment. Now, yes, a nice big sort of tumbler, even one that's fancier than this, like a big crystal cut tumbler that feels heavy and ornate. It looks good in the movies. That's how whiskey's consumed in most Hollywood films and whatnot and TV shows of people pouring, I was going to say, a particular space on a distillery into a crystal cut glass, a big goblet of a glass, that something that would be befitting of James Bond or whatever, or Harvey Specter. And this is, and you see them drinking it out of these glasses, but you don't get much of a nose. It's almost missing. The nose of this whiskey is almost completely missing because all the volatiles are escaping out the top here, and you can't angle your nose in every direction at the same time. However, you can always trust the humble Glencairn. Now, this is the most popular whiskey glass worldwide. It was developed actually relatively recently in the grand scheme of things. I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there. Don't quote me. I don't know much about the history of this glass, but let's say you use this for a second. Now pour that whiskey into there. Now, that's given the whiskey a bit of a base to move around in. And immediately it's focused the nose at the top here with a nice small opening. I'm a huge fan of that. I also like the versatility of a Glencairn because it's got a nice bit of weight to it. I've dropped Glencairns countless times and they are almost never smash because they've got a heavy glass base and they're great for nosing and drinking whiskey, even socially. I think it's a good social glass entry point. You then start moving into glassware that's maybe more appropriate for beer, but can be used for whiskey. I'd say the opening on that one's a little bit too big, so I'm going to leave that for the moment. You then get glassware that starts looking like this, and of course our very own Society Copita glasses that look like this. These are really good for cask strength whiskies. You find that they focus the aromas really nicely and they appreciate with water added as well. So something like a Society glass, as we've shown before, really not too much different from a Glencairn in many ways, but it's a bit more delicate in that it's a bit lighter. I'm also used to it, but it's also got that lovely sort of the aromas are really nicely scented in this one as well. That's a remarkably nice deep, rich and dried fruits whiskey, that one. It's all nutty and oloroso. You can always try different glasses. You can try something like a brandy snifter. That's best used for brandies, cognacs, armagnacs, things like that. Or you could try something like a Denver and Liley glass. They're great for casual drinking, enjoyment. It probably could fit an ice cube. I don't think I've ever tried with these. And then you can also use the humble XL5 or Copita, as they're often called, which are also great for assessment and enjoyment of whiskey, which you often see at whiskey tastings. A lot of people use these because they're plentiful and not the end of the world when they break, because they're not the most expensive glassware. Anyway, that's just a quick rundown of glassware. Of course, the bigger sizes, they might be fun for sort of lower proof whiskies. So generally speaking, smaller glassware for higher proof, I find, and bigger glassware for lower proof. So if you have a lovely sort of, essentially just a Bordeaux glass, it's a wine glass. Actually, no, I think that's more of a Pinot glass, my mistake. But if you have something that is essentially a low proof whiskey, like let's say a 1950s blended whiskey that's at 40% ABV, this kind of glass would be perfect for capturing even more of the aromas that are needed. But in terms of cask strength whiskey, I always recommend something small, something bold, and something with a small opening for your nose to really dig into the spirit. Sanjava, cheers, however you are, wherever you enjoy it, or however my quote always goes. Hope you're in good spirits. Speak to you soon.